way back when here. I want to talk about the Lee factory crimp die and why it's the best in the business. I've got the Hornady crimp die here. This is a taper crimp for 9mm. This is the Lee factory carbide die for 9mm. And I want to show you the difference and why nobody makes a better crimp die than Lee. So, with the Hornady, it's just a taper crimp. There's no insert in here. It's just tapered, and you basically push your round in as far as you want in order to get the taper you desire. It's not a roll crimp. It's just a taper crimp. Now, the Lee factory crimp die has a insert in there, a carbide insert. So when you push this into this carbide die, it also resizes it so that you get perfect function. It's a brilliant design. I'm going to take it apart here and show you the difference. It has this carbide insert inside that provides your taper. So, and it also, this part is resizing as you push into the taper. So you get a resize and a taper crimp at the same time to give you the desired crimp and perfect function. So basically the insert goes in there just like that. This goes in here, and the way you set this up is the round goes inside the die till it bottoms out, and then you adjust this to get your desired crimp. It's the same way you set this up, only you use the collet to set it in the press. You put the ram all the way up, you adjust this down, and then you use this lock ring, or call it as I called it, a lock ring, to tighten it down for the desired depth. So I'm going to go ahead and set both of these up in the press. I've got some freshly reloaded 9mm and show you how they both work. Okay, we're starting with the Lee carbide crimp die. So basically, we're going to screw it down until the shell holder and the ram touch the carbide die. This is the resizing die and the taper crimp in the same, all in one. So they touch. Now we're going to screw it down until the carbide insert touches the case. Then we're going to screw it down maybe a quarter of a turn. All we want to do is fold the little swell from when we expanded the case to accept the bullet. All we want to do is fold that down and make sure it's smooth. The taper should barely be visible here. And if it's just barely visible, it's perfect. You don't want to squish the bullet too much. If you feel a little bit of resistance before you get to the taper crimp, that's just the bullet or the case resizing. And the reason it resizes, like I said before, was to give perfect function. Every reloader's got out to the field and found cases that wouldn't chamber. It's happened to everybody once or twice. Okay, now let's go over to the Hornady, which is the same premise as the Lyman crimp die, and let's see how that works. So basically you screw it in. The ram does not touch the bottom of the die. And you use the locking ring here to adjust the depth. Now this is already set perfectly from before. So you'll see that all you do is go up. You'll feel a little bit of resistance. It gives a perfect crimp. Now it does give a perfect crimp, but it doesn't resize. And that's where the Lee does a much better job than the Hornady or the RCBS. And that's why I believe Lee makes the best crimp dies in the business.